What's going on, everybody? I'm Coen King. I'm here with Grant Mish. We're two UVA football players. We're really excited to start off our new podcast. It's called Kings of Mischief. Um, we really believe that the athlete and podcast space could be occupied a little bit more. So we're really excited to partner with Section 5 and Hulk Sports Marketing to get this thing going. And, I'm just really excited to bring this all to you all. So, Grant, you can let them know how you're feeling, man. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
dude. I mean, we've been talking about doing something where we get out in front of people and talk for a while. I mean, we were talking about doing that before, like NIL was really a thing back when we were just playing video games.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm excited. Uh, I'm ready to let a bigger audience like kind of into the lives of athletes outside of our sport. So I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Like, especially surrounding UVA, I feel like the stigma around athletes is kind of, we're kind of like different than normal people, but like a lot of our friends are, in frats, or they're just regular
Yep.
people. So, just to get like a little insight on who we are and what we do on a regular is just gonna be awesome. So I'm really excited. So I'll start off with an intro about myself, briefly on my college football journey and pretty much who I am. Um, so I got here in 2018. Grant and I are in the same class. I won't talk too much about high school, but I'll get into it another time. I only played 1 year of high school football, but that's another interesting story. So I walked on here in 2018, and I'm originally from Culpeper, Virginia, small town, two high schools, two middle schools, a close knit area. Everybody knows each other, and there was a lot of big buzz on me coming to UVA, just because I was also the first Power 5 athlete from my school to go to a Power 5 school and play football. Um, and just coming here it was kind of tough. I was a 4A high school, and we weren't that competitive on a high scale in Virginia. And first 2 years it was really difficult to get going, get my feet going. Like, I only said I played 1 year, and after that I kind of was ready to get it going. So once we got into COVID, I took like 3 months of just head down grinding, stuff like that, and ended up getting a scholarship that August in 2020. And been in and out of I was in and out of the starting lineup in 2020, and pretty much have been starting ever since then, uh besides the injuries. But that's a little bit about me and my journey in college football.
Yeah, bro. And here's the thing with you. Everyone knew you were such a good athlete and you were good at football. We were like, I can tell you that we were all confused at how you were not on a scholarship. So that was really cool watching that happen. But Cohen's got a very interesting story. Like, if Cohen got into some real details of his whole career story of football,
I'm
it'd
excited.
be fun. And we'll get to it. You'll get to it another time, but it's a long story. So uh myself, yeah, like Cohen said, we came in 2018 together, and that feels like forever ago now. We always talk about how summer workouts of 2018 feel like forever ago, and they kind of are at this point of our lives. But yeah, um, kind of similar to Cohen. I was like the first Power 5 football player to come out of my high school, so there was kind of a lot of buzz, and then I got here, and everything kind of flipped because
Yeah.
I was recruited as a linebacker. I was supposed to play linebacker. I played middle linebacker in high school. I got recruited as an outside backer. Um, 3 days in the fall camp, I got moved to D line. They said it was because we didn't have anyone, but the old saying is if you're slow, you move down a spot. So I just kept moving down the back end of the defense, and then yeah, I actually started a game that year at
You got to tell them what game you started. Like, that's not
I
even.
started Georgia Tech that year as a 4I at 227 pounds, and they ran me down. I mean, I ended up on my back the first three plays I was in there. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But yeah, so that was the only action I saw our first year. Um, got made the switch to tight end in February of our first year, right before spring ball. I did a couple winter workouts as a tight end, but um, that was a cool story because I was thinking about who can I ask to switch. I kind of wanted to see if I could try to play offense, and Coach Mendenhall came up to me one day before workouts was like, "Do you want to play tight end?" I was
Mm.
like, sure. And then the rest was history from there. So, that's a little bit about my college football journey without getting too into details. Um, right
Yeah,
now we're here. Yeah.
yeah. We can just kind of just transition to current time, what we've been doing. Um, you know, just to briefly touch on it. Grant and I just came back from OBX for our spring break. We were there for about 5 days. It was electric, man. It
It
was
was the longest 5 days of my life.
yeah, it was awesome. We were down there with our girlfriends and two other friends and their girlfriends. It was awesome at a beach house, and back we're starting spring ball in 3 days, I think. And you could just touch on like how winter workouts went for you, any recaps, talking about spring ball, just describing it. Like I think that's something you can touch on.
Yeah, for sure. I think winter workouts this year were the best s group of workouts that I've seen since we've been here. I
Over
think it
ever,
was
you ever been here?
yeah, since we've been here. I think it was the perfect combo of, like, hard stuff to make you better, but also the technical piece
Yeah,
where I feel like we've never had the proper mix in
dude.
the
Yeah,
past 5 years. It was either just way too hard or way too easy, I would
yeah,
almost say. There
yeah,
was never a good mix. I think this year we really got that. So I think physically and athletically, our team, bro, I think we're in a good place.
yeah. Like he just said, it's hilarious. Like the transition. So we had a coaching change in 2021 of December. We went from Mendenhall staff, and they were like hardcore. Like it's pretty much as hardcore as you can get. Grant always says it's like the closest to like military as you can get.
Yeah.
But he took a lot. He pick and choose a lot of things from like military focused things and like VMI and stuff like that. And the transition from just hard stuff for like I wouldn't say for no reason, but just
Just
extremely
just
hard
doing really hard things with almost it felt like no end goal, for the
for the
drill. Whether it was just like just run the hill until you can't anymore
yeah
or whatever it was.
yeah
But in long term it had a goal. But when you
yeah.
were doing it, there was no goal in mind.
Like I was saying, it's funny because that off season, the last off season we had with Mendenhall was arguably one of the worst times of my life, in a jokingly way, obviously. But we would run Hill. It's like how many miles would you say that hill is?
Oak Hill's probably only a mile, but it's
It's a
a
mile.
steep mile.
It's a mile long steep hill on a gravel surface, and we jogged to it. It's 2 miles away from us, a mile and a half away from us.
Yeah.
Jog to it, jog up the hill or sprint up the hill through sections on a Saturday morning, just and then just come back. That was after
You
our
walk back.
yeah, and then walk back. And then we transitioned to the staff under Elliott, and we were kind of just like, it's not easy stuff, but we were kind of just like when is it gonna get like very difficult?
Yeah. And, we weren't last year in the winter, Coach Smo, our strength coach, Coach Smotherman, was, his philosophy was just get thick. He just wanted us to get as big and as strong as possible.
Yeah,
So, all we were doing was lifting.
yeah,
And, this year, it was not just that.
yeah.
I think Coach Smo was like, "Yeah, we gotta get these guys running sooner than we did last year," I think it's gonna help us tremendously in spring ball.
I agree, man.
Um, I think going into spring ball, I'll hit on the offense because
Yeah,
obviously I'm an offensive player and Coen can talk about the defense a little more. But offensively, I'm excited. I'm excited to see a little quarterback competition between Tony Muskett, the transfer from Monmouth, and Jay Woolfolk, a uh, a third year player now who is also obviously a star baseball player as well. Um, I think Jay missing out on everything last year in spring ball because he didn't come to anything. He didn't
yeah.
come to meetings or anything.
He wasn't there at all.
Um, did not help him, obviously. But he's already in some meetings. He's through our walkthroughs. So I
Mhm.
think that competition will be really good, not only for those two, but also for our offense as a whole, because
Yeah,
they're going to be the ones leading us. Um, and I think Tony, I haven't seen him play football yet, but the way he acts in the locker room, the way he's acting in workouts, he's just a leader, like kind of a naturally born leader. So I'm excited to see that. Our running back room is so incredibly deep. I
Deep.
don't know who's going to get a carry. Like, how are you going to split those carries up? There's like 7 like legitimate like starting talented running backs. So um, O line, they've been working. It's a lot. It's going to be a lot of young guys. We don't have many veterans on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I think spring ball is going to help them more than anyone else. Because we also got Coach Heff, new line coach, so we kind of got new philosophies in here. Um, Tight end room, we're kind of the old heads on the offense now.
Mhm.
Me and Sackett are both 6-year players. Josh Rollins is a 4th-year player. Carson Gay's really the only young one, so
Yeah.
uh, we're kind of like the group that's been around the longest at this point.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping we can hold it down during spring ball, let everyone else kind of, work their new ways or
Yeah.
keep some competitions going, and I hope that we can just be consistent as a tight end group.
Yeah, dude, our defense, like, it seems like we have a whole like graduate class of defense. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people coming back. We lost out on obviously some pretty good players, some transferring, and AJ going to the declaring for the draft. But I think we're going to be solid again this year. We have a lot of people that have played a lot of snaps before, and I think defensively, if you have like some experience, that's a lot. That's as much as you can ask for. So I'm really excited for us. We had an awesome spring last year under Coach Rudd, and a few of our games were kind of skewed last year, but overall, I think we're going in the right direction, and we're going to build on what we did last year. I just want
Yeah.
to talk spring ball a little bit, man, just compared to other times, because a lot of people might not know what spring ball is. So spring ball, pretty much you have 15 practices over the course of like a month and a week, like 5 weeks. And, you go every other day and you lift the days you don't practice. So this next Monday it'll be a lifting day, Tuesday practice, Wednesday lift day, and so on. And you'll get 2 days off during the week.
Nah, just one, man.
Oh yeah,
We go 6 days a week. It's just Sundays off.
yeah. So you get Sundays. So we'll go all the way through Saturday, and hopefully we're on Saturday morning, because Saturday afternoons can kind of suck, just because you're waking up and you have Sunday and then you're back to it. But spring ball is honestly, it's a good time. You're transitioning from winter workouts where you're pretty much at your peak healthiness
Yeah.
throughout throughout the entire year, uh, and you're just kind of ready to get back to playing football. And then after spring ball, obviously summer break. So I think I really like spring ball, and it's an awesome time
So
to
you like spring ball. So
yeah,
so, so camp versus spring ball, you're going spring ball?
dude. Camp is horrible.
That's
Camp,
always been that's the big question every year.
it,
Like we're about to start spring ball and people are like, is it worse? Is it easier or harder than camp?
yeah,
I think it's significantly easier,
yeah.
but I understand the argument for it being harder
It's a
because
lot of people. It's not as one sided as we're making it seem right now. It's a lot of people who rather do camp because you don't have
yeah,
class. That's the
yeah,
big.
there's no class.
We're still
Um, the other good argument for why camp is better is there's no season right around the corner, so we're going to be banging every day.
yeah we're
There,
yeah
we don't take it easy on our bodies at all during spring ball because we don't have to worry about a game in the next month.
yeah.
So
We're going. Grant and I are going head to head contact pretty much every day. It's not.
yeah,
It's not letting it off.
dude,
So
I told you last year. I'm pretty sure the hardest I took last year was you hitting me in the spring game.
yeah, I had a
I
stinger.
mean, you flipped my legs above my head.
I had a stinger for the next two plays. Another topic of discussion is, for McHugh at least, and just like amongst college athletes across the country, is like how your meals are. And I think our meals were probably the worst in the entire nation before Coach Elliott got here. They were horrible. And, we just had a lot of meal improvement over the past few years. And how do you think they are? Like,
I have two reasons why I think it's gotten better.
yeah,
One, I think the feedback that us players have been giving is finally being listened to and implemented.
yeah.
Two, the availability of things like red card.
Oh, yeah. You got to talk about
Red
that.
card has been game changing.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've always been provided a meal,
Yep.
but if you don't like it, then that's what it is. You don't like the food, you're gonna have to eat it. Now, if you don't like the food, you have an option to go get what you want.
Yeah.
Um, obviously not every day. We get like $50 a week,
Mm.
but that's enough to give you a nice treat for a
Yeah.
night where you might not like the dining hall food or the breakfast that we get from after workouts.
Yeah.
I think those two things have been just game changing for our meals.
So Grant and I aren't complaining by any means. It is free food. I just,
Yeah,
if we'll eat it. We're not complaining about it, but it's just like I feel like a lot of people that I know that go to schools other places, I see them, they have full dining halls for themselves after a practice, and before Elliot and his staff, they listen to us about what we want, and they're really like a player staff. Like they listen to the players a lot. Before that, we'd have like a soaking wet burrito that's been like
yeah.
that was catered the week before. It was terrible. It was awful. It was
Well,
awful.
here's the other thing with the food. I understand where they come from because it has to be in those. They can't get it delivered,
The day.
right as we're finishing up. They have to get it early,
Yeah.
and then it sits in those, warm, those heat lamp warmer things for several hours.
Long. Yeah. So that was a good transition into our first repeating topic that we'll have by the week. And we're going to do a snake draft. And our first one to kick it off will be the best places to eat in Charlottesville. We wanted to keep it close to home. And I'm excited about this one, man. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what we.
Now, I have not, to preface, I have not had a ton of food in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance to go downtown and just like explore a bunch of those restaurants. I
Yeah.
wish I had earlier, but I'm starting to now.
Yeah. That was a good thing to preface with, man. There's a lot. If you've been to Charlottesville or even heard of it, there's a lot of heavy hitters downtown in the downtown mall. A lot of like underground, not underground, obviously, but like hole in the wall type places. And
Yeah, a lot of hole in the wall spots.
they could be really upscale places that don't look like they are. But so
Yeah.
we don't have any of those, but this is just what we've had. So we're excited to do this.
All right. So we just flipped a coin, and I'm going to be going first for the snake draft. My number one is Continental Divide.
I knew that was coming.
It's some of the best Mexican food I've ever had. Okay.
I knew that.
I've been there only 3 or 4 times, but food, amazing. Not expensive at all. Absolutely my number one.
Yeah. That's a good pick, man. I'm starting off with my number one. It arguably is probably the best food I've maybe ever had. It's called Guajiros. It's, I mean, I need to be corrected if I'm wrong, but it's like a Latin American, Cuban type style Miami eatery. It's awesome. You get your Cuban style sandwiches, the press sandwiches. You get the meals with like the rice beans, the plantains, and like a serving of meat. It's awesome. It's some of the best food I've ever had.
Dude, when you told me on the
Yeah.
drive back that asked if I had it and I told you no, I thought your jaw was going to hit the freaking floor. I got
Nah,
to try it.
it's
I got to
awesome.
try it. All right, my number two, it's new. It's brand new. Black Cow Chop House.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that food, me and Coen had this last week. I thought that was one of the best steaks I've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm keep saying ever. That's a bit of a stretch, but it was a fantastic steak. The service was wonderful. The Forrest at the the bartender was
Yeah, he was
super
awesome.
cool guy. Let us know what they're working with there. It was a good time.
Like you said, man, it just opened. Was it? I don't know how recent, but it just opened within the past month.
3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. All right, so my number two. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go. My number two, my second favorite place to eat in Charlottesville is gonna be Doma. It's on the same stretch as Guajiro's is, and it's a Korean barbecue style place. It's amazing. I get this meal. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's like ramen and beef and like this sweet and sour sauce. I mean, like sweet and spicy sauce. It's amazing. You get rice cakes in it. I've got at one point, like about a month ago, I went 3 times a week, and it's not like fast food. It's not like a fast food place. It's like a sit down restaurant. I sat down every single time.
I've seen it, but I have not been in. I think there's a chance every restaurant you pick for your top 5, I haven't been to.
Probably haven't
There's
had. Actually,
there's a chance. All right, my number 3, Villa Diner.
it's
Villa
really
Diner's been around for so long. Everyone loves to go there. They kind of got that Southern hospitality feel in there. Villa Diner is my number 3 spot.
yeah, that's really good. That's really good, and that's on red card, so we get it.
And it's on record, so we don't pay.
Yeah, that's a good pick. All right, my number 3, and a really high upscale restaurant. If you look up best restaurants in Charlottesville, I'm pretty sure this will pop up first. It's the Ivy Inn. So I live over here at Ivy Gardens, a little apartment complex, and it's a 2-minute walk from me. It's right across. It's right across the street from my apartment complex. It looks like a little house. I'm pretty. It really is just a house.
It is a house. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little house, but it's like extremely fancy food. You know, my girlfriend and I went in January, and we spent over like $130. But I mean, we got a lot of food, but it's awesome. It's some of the best food I've ever had, and you know, I couldn't make this list without having IBN on it.
All right, that's fair. So I'm at my number 4.
Yeah,
I was torn between what spot to put my last 2.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go White Spot.
Ooh,
Not, obviously not for necessarily the quality of the food, but
no, yeah,
the convenience of being out on a Friday or Saturday night and
yeah,
walking into White Spot and paying $4 for a Gus burger, unmatched.
yeah,
That's why it's my number 4.
yeah. It's convenient, man. It's good food too. It's not just. Yeah, it's very good.
No, it's not trash, but it's obviously not not the best burger you're ever gonna have. But
Yeah. Dude, I'm having a hard time with this one. I feel like I know what your 5 is gonna be.
I don't think you do.
I think I might, man. I think I might. I'll tell you if I do. So for my number 4, I'm gonna go Kabuto. Kabuto is a Japanese hibachi style place, and I feel like if I didn't put that on my list, I'd be extremely wrong because everyone loves hibachi food. I think it's better than Sakura. We have Sakura on red card, and pretty much if you're a recruit on an official visit here, you'll get taken to Sakura. But I think we should make that transition into Kabuto. The service, it's my girlfriend and I's. It's our favorite waitress. She's awesome. She's the only waitress in there, and we see her every single time. I get the same meal. It's cheap. It's not as expensive as most of the other hibachi places, and the lunch special is 10 out of 10.
All right, so you're 4 for 4 on things I've never had. All right, my last spot. I'm going Sedona Tap House.
I didn't.
Yeah, Sedona's good. That was one of the first places that me and my parents went to from when we came down for a game, and I was a recruit. We went to Sedona after the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love it there. I think it's great food. I don't really have much to say. I haven't been there in a while. I'm going to be honest, but I do like the food there.
Sedona's a great place. My number 5. This is a funny pick, but my number 5 is gonna be Cane's. Cane's is a top 5 restaurant here, or a top 5 food establishment here for me. The line is always probably a quarter of a mile stretched out of the
onto the highway.
Yeah, to the highway, and it blocks off an entire lane right after a light, and it's right before you get into the grounds area of Charlottesville and the of UVA, and it is insane though. I mean, I think it's one of 2 locations for Cane's in Virginia. I think the other one's in Richmond or Norfolk, but I'm addicted, but I don't get it often because the Caniac combo, the calories on that is insane. It's like the highest caloric fast food item ever, but Cane's has to be there. It's awesome for me.
Cane's chicken is elite, but I'm a sauce guy. I gotta have more sauces than just Cane's.
Or sauce. Yeah. Funny because I thought, which one I thought, and if anyone's listening, the one that I thought would definitely be on the list, and I bet everybody else did, was Bodo's, and it's just I didn't have it in my top 5.
I might have overeaten it though.
Oh yeah,
I was getting it several times a week for a year.
Yeah, that's in it. Yeah.
But yeah, whoever tunes into this, if you want to hit us up on social media, Instagram, Twitter, let us know what we should try in Charlottesville. I would
Yeah,
love to start trying new spots. Obviously, I have 4 that Coen picked, and I haven't even tried. But yeah, let us know. Maybe in a down the road, that could be a little segment that we do, where we give a
trying to.
review of a suggested restaurant.
Yeah. You know, I'm really excited to move on to this next part. It's really just talking about why we returned. Obviously, you heard Grant and I got here in 2018. I don't know if you did a little bit of mental math, but that is a long time ago. And you know, we are currently fifth year players going into our sixth. We'll be going into our 6th year um, in August to start the next season off. So, Grant, I could kick this one off about
Yeah,
why.
take it.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I applied for an internship in January of 2022, and it was through a little externship program that we did here, and I got paired up with a guy. He's awesome, man. I'd love to have him here one time. His name's Bill Curry. He played here. Bill, I don't want to date you, but I'm not going to date you. So I don't know when you played here. I paired up with him. This was back in 2021, actually, when I was paired with him, and we went out to eat a few times at First Watch. It's an amazing breakfast place here, and he was really just telling me a little bit what he did. He works at this company called Boston Scientific, where he started off doing medical device sales, and now he's a field director of the national accounts, and he's awesome. I had no idea what medical device sales were, and I was really just talking to him to kind of get to know him. And a year later, he told me I should apply for this internship, and he thinks I had a lot of skills to be successful in that field. So again, this is all while we're still playing football. Like this is 2021 to 2022. I'm talking to this guy, and I applied, and I met with this other guy who works there now. His name's Omar, and we got on a few Microsoft Teams calls with him and his boss. And you know, it's kind of nerve wracking. Like I've never had a real conversation with corporate people,
Yeah.
and trying to really just get a job because 2022 of January, I was going to be done playing at the end of the year. What I imagined, I thought I was going to be done after my 5th year, and they loved me. I answered a lot of their questions right, and they offered the intern. Once I applied, um, I think there were 48 applicants, and only 2 of us got accepted. So I had to accept it. I went to Tony Elliott and just told him, I can't miss out on this opportunity, pretty much. And I was in Marlboro for 3 months, pretty much, and I was working with I can't remember 100 other interns in different fields, completely out of my comfort zone. But it was awesome to get away from football for a few months. I missed the entire winter workouts. Right after I graduated, I was gone until fall camp, and I had a blast. It was awesome. And pretty much after I got back from here, they offered me a job, and I was set. I was like, I'm definitely coming back. I mean, I'm definitely going back to work there after this season, and I was just so pumped to finally have. It was a sort of a sense of comfort of just having something to do after football, because not a lot of guys have that. And the first or the second week of fall camp, I dislocated my elbow. So I was planning to start, obviously, and it put me out for 2 games from dislocating my elbow in fall camp. It was awful.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting back against ODU. I'm pretty sure that was our third game or fourth game. And in that game, in the third quarter, I ended up tearing my MCL right after I got back, my first game getting back. And I was down. I was like, there's no way that I just did these 2 injuries. They're not tearing your ACL, obviously, but tearing your MCL will keep you out for. I mean, mine was a grade 3, so it kept me out for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And I got back against Georgia Tech. That was my first game back again, and started that game. Got my first interception, and then I had honestly the best season I've ever had yet. And it was a hard decision, like I said, because I was so ready to just go to the workforce and start working. You know, it was awesome, like a totally different change of pace. But I just saw a lot of potential. And then after the tragedy that happened, it felt wrong to just kind of leave out on, you know, we missed 2 games, and
Yep.
then, you know, especially my season, I missed however many games, was a lot. But that's why I came back. I just saw a lot of upside of coming back, and I felt like I had a little bit more football to play.
Yeah, dude, you got hit by the injury train this year. That sucked. I remember in the third quarter at ODU, I was walking around and I see you standing with your helmet off and your shoe off. I was like, man, what happened? Like, this is your first game. Like, you played like, I don't even think you started the game. I think they eased you back into it. I think, right?
No, I started that game. I started
Okay,
that game.
did you? But yeah, I was like, man, that sucks.
It was
Well,
terrible.
I came back and in the complete and total opposite shoes of you. I had no job lined up. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so I just had to come back to give myself more time. That's it. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not the only reason. Bro, we did not have a good season last year, obviously. Um, so not a great season. I felt like I didn't progress through the year the way I wanted to.
Mhm.
And then yeah, like you said, the way the season ended, I just felt like I didn't give everything I had so far. I was not prepared to say I'm never stepping back on a football field
Yeah.
or I'm ready to just move on with my life. I felt like I had more to give, just like you said. And
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of people felt. And, I know some people that, are done playing and they're not sure how they feel about it because it was just a strange way to, end your career if that was your last time. So I had to come back. I felt like I needed to.
Finishing off on a game that you prepare to have 2 more games after that. It was weird.
That game felt surreal too, the Pitt game. But I mean, we can talk about that another time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So our last segment, we're really, I'm pretty happy how this is going, man. And we have a rapid fire segment.
Yep.
So Grant and I prepared 7 questions each, and we're just gonna fire off. I know Grant pretty well; he knows me pretty well. But this is just for you all to know us a little bit more. They're not serious questions, but
No,
uh,
not
I can,
serious in any way. And you're not going to know anything special about Coen from these questions that I ask.
you do it
All right.
first.
Yeah, I'm going to start it up.
Cool.
Sharks or Lions?
Lions,
All right. Marvel or DC?
DC.
Hot take.
Yeah,
Real or fake Christmas tree?
real.
Speak every language or speak to animals?
Every language. I love that.
Never wait in a line or have all lights be green?
Dang, dude. All lights be green.
All right. Barbecue food or Chinese?
Barbecue. Chinese, 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 Chinese.
Final answer?
Chinese, yep. Yep.
Fan at night or no fan at night?
Fan. I love it. I love it.
I was told you, no one's gonna get to know Coen a little more off those questions, but
Yeah.
they're
I love
interesting and fun.
All right, Grant, these are yours.
Let's do it.
Afternoon or night games?
Night,
College basketball or NBA?
college,
Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Ooh.
I like
Favorite,
Pepsi.
favorite season?
Oh, God, dude. Summer.
Walmart or Target?
Target.
Best fast food?
McDonald's.
And lastly, favorite Marvel character?
Iron Man. Easy.
I love
We
it.
talked about this. We talked this about on the drive up. How the original Iron Man is such an amazing movie,
Peak
and
film.
the first hour of it is almost perfect. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie, man. It's an amazing movie.
But I am shocked. I'm shocked you said DC over Marvel. You're a big Marvel guy.
I'm a huge Marvel guy, but the way these movies have been going after Endgame, like I was telling you, it's not my cup of tea. It's not. It's a little childish.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. So, we're wrapping this up, and we just want to thank you guys for tuning in to episode 1 of the Kings of Mischief podcast. Our goal of this is really just talk about our football season. Interview other athletes, coaches, or Charlottesville individuals, anybody else that we know.
Yeah.
Just give you all a look into our life, and we're just really excited to bring this to you.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into the first episode. Hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.